Hello, my name is Mandy Medford, and I'm the hypnobirthing childbirth educator with Well-Rounded Mama. Today I'm going to be talking to you about prenatal parenting and the importance of prenatal bonding and how the time that we spend with our babies while we're pregnant is going to make it easier to bond with them after they're here, but also spending time every day with your baby, just a few minutes a day, can impact the baby's personality, the baby's growth, and the baby's development. So I hope you enjoy this video today. So what I'd like to talk to you about is how our babies experience what we go through during our daily lives. The experiences we have actually impact the environment that the baby is in the uterus. So it's very important to recognize then that babies don't have the ability to separate themselves from the mother. So the baby quite literally is what the mother is. So for example, if you have something stressful happen to you during the day, and of course we don't live in a perfect world, and we all encounter different variations of stress on a daily basis. But as all other mammals do, human babies and other mammals alike are being hardwired, if you want to call it that, but their brain structure is always going to be accommodating their brain growth, their brain development is always going to be catering to the environment that they're going to be coming into. So we're essentially setting them up to survive in the world that they're going to come into. So if a mother spends a lot of her time, or the majority of her time, or the vast majority of her day on a constant daily basis in a state of high stress, high anxiety, if she spends a lot of time in what we call that fight or flight, then what will happen is the part of the baby's brain that deals with stress and survival will grow larger, because the baby's got to be able to come into a world that they're going to have to literally kind of be in a state of fight or flight. So again, their brain development is always being catered to their ability then to be able to survive in the world that they're coming into. So if mom, like I said, spends a lot of time stressed out, then the part of the baby's brain that deals with stress and survival will be larger, but the part of the brain that deals with relationships and creativity and the ability to learn, that part of the brain, we can see even through scientific studies, that part of the brain can actually be smaller. So again, we aren't perfect people and we don't live in a perfect world. But if we can take opportunities to reframe our stressful situations to help our babies to separate themselves from the stress that we encounter on a daily basis, then it makes the baby a lot better at dealing with stress, but then also bouncing back from it so that they develop into a more well-rounded, fully human little person. So as I mentioned before, baby is what mom is. Baby doesn't have the ability to separate itself from mom's experiences. So if you walk into a situation and you're arguing with somebody, or someone has really upset you, and you know what this feels like, your heart races, your breathing is maybe a little bit labored or a little bit more fast, the baby gets into that state as well, and their nervous system will get into that place of fight or flight as well very quickly. So all we have to do then, after this stressful episode has ended, we can just kind of step ourselves outside of that, take a few moments to do some calm breathing, as we call it in hypnobirthing. Take just a few moments to take a few calm, nice, quiet, deep breaths. And you see that even when you just slow how you're speaking and slow your breathing down, then you just change your thought pattern a little bit and say to baby, it's okay. Mommy just went through a really tough thing at work, or mommy just went through a really tough situation, but mommy loves you, and that tough situation that mommy went through, that had nothing to do with you. That wasn't your fault. I love you. I want you. I can't wait to meet you. Just saying those types of affirmations to yourself and to your baby, you notice how, again, just to say, I love you, will totally change what's going on in your brain and slow everything down chemically and physiologically, what's going on in your body and in your nervous system. So you take that minute and just say, hey, baby, geez, that was rough, wasn't it? That was hard, but that's okay. We're okay now. Everybody's okay. We're going to take some calm breaths. And later tonight, we're going to go out for some ice cream. And even just hearing that yourself, oh, we're going to run out and grab my favorite dessert or go do something that we enjoy. Again, just changes your thought process that much more quickly, changes the chemicals in your brain, and slows everything back down to where you're back into a place where you're not creating adrenaline and catecholamines, stress hormones, but where you're making endorphins. And endorphins will help every organ and every body system every system of the body work better. So it's very important, again, to just recognize that very important fact that babies do respond sympathetically to us always, that they can't separate themselves from those stressful situations. So just take that moment to reframe what's going on so the baby can learn to bounce back from that as well. We know that, again, through studies and different studies that we've seen, that when mom's pulse rate rises very quickly, baby's heart rate will respond as well. We've seen through videos and through use of ultrasound technology that when a mother is in a state of stress and anxiety, again, her baby will move violently, baby will kick violently, the heart rate will change. Again, baby's always responding sympathetically to the mother. Now, on the other hand, again, going back to, again, what we are, the baby is, right? So we get very, during pregnancy, we concern ourselves a lot with what we eat and what we drink, being really careful to eat the right things, to drink lots of water, because we know that everything we put into our mouth crosses the placenta and goes to the baby. So we're really, really conscientious about what we put into our bodies. And that's a really good thing to be doing. But we've got to pay just as much attention to our emotions, because every stress hormone we make goes through to our baby. But every happy hormone we make, the endorphins that we make that put the body in that place where, again, we're in that healing mode, that happy place that we call the parasympathetic nervous system, the place where everything is functioning well. When we're happy, so is our baby. And we concern ourselves, again, with the physical growth of the baby. Is the baby's body growing? Is the baby showing that growth? Is the brain growing? Is the heart developing? Are the intestines developing? From that physical standpoint, we're always looking at that. The midwives, the doctors pay a lot of attention to that. We've also got to acknowledge then that when the baby's nervous system is in a healthy place, their physical body will be able to grow better. Through the work of Thomas Verney, who was a psychologist in the 1970s, he wrote the book called The Secret Life of the Unborn Child. It's a really interesting book that I would highly recommend pregnant moms read. But according to his work, we actually, as parents, have the ability to shape the personality of our babies now while we carry them. There are things that we don't have a lot of control over, biology, DNA. Those types of things we can't really control, but we can control our emotions. We can control how we react to our world. We can control the amount of time that we spend every day with our babies, bonding with them, parenting them now. We can control those things. So again, when we're conscientious about the things that we do have control over, we can help these babies, again, to develop into happy, secure, well-adjusted little human beings. A study was done years back at the University of Salzburg, where they studied a group of parents that had a great respect for the human life that was growing in the mother. These mothers had really good support from not only their community, but from their partner. And these mothers were excited that their bellies were growing and they felt beautiful. And again, they celebrated their pregnancy. They celebrated this time that they had with their babies. They spent time every day with this little life that was inside of them, acknowledging that the presence of that life. And as they followed these children, they were born, they followed these children as they became toddlers. We found that the babies were very socially well adjusted, that they did very well as they went on to preschool and kindergarten and grew up. And what we found again with the parents is that, again, the mothers had very healthy pregnancies. They had very easy births, and there were very few instances of preterm births and complicated labors. So again, I do believe that it is worth addressing then that taking a few minutes every day with your baby, enjoying your pregnancy, looking forward to the day that you're going to get to meet your baby, speaking those words of love to these babies every day can dramatically impact who and what these sweet little children become. So what can we do as part of our prenatal bonding or prenatal parenting every day? What are some suggestions? Well, a lot of these things you might already be doing. For example, instinctively, we touch our bellies, or a lot of times daddies will poke at bellies or talk to the baby, get up close and personal and talk to the baby. Moms find themselves if you're standing on your feet, rocking side to side, or sitting in a rocking chair and rocking. These things we do instinctually, intuitively. Well, all this touching that daddies do and mommies do, the rubbing and the touching and the talking, that sensory stimulation will actually help the baby's nerves grow. So that sensory stimulation is very important. Ear development, we know that their ears are developed around 5 months. And again, plenty of times parents will talk about how they played music during the pregnancy, or mom would sing to the baby, or dad would play the guitar or the piano or sing to the baby. And sure enough, when those babies were here at 3 a.m., when it's the middle of the night and they can't calm down, dad says, oh, let's put on that music. Put on the music. Babies remember that. Babies calm down. So it's very interesting to see that correlation, that they are taking in those experiences, but they do remember their time in the womb, and they actually do, on a subconscious level, we all as adults remember our births. So again, the things that you've been doing are actually very good for your baby's physical development, even before probably anybody told you that they were good. That swaying or swinging or rocking that we do as mothers, we kind of sway our hips side to side because it's comfortable, but babies love that because it makes them feel like they're riding the waves a little bit because they're in that amniotic fluid, and that will help your baby to produce endorphins. And again, when baby's producing endorphins, their nervous system is healthy and everything else is healthy as well. So this playing that we do with them, great suggestion. Reading, absolutely. I think that we should be reading to our babies. As soon as we know that they're here, we should be reading to them. And that will, again, foster that love of reading later. But again, it fosters brain growth and brain development. Daily conversations, perhaps writing letters to save that you can read to your babies later. Or wouldn't it be really cool to have these letters saved? And at the time that your child is, learning to read or old enough to read, they can pull these letters out and read them and know that they were wanted long before they were physically here. They were wanted. So again, it helps to foster that ability, the child's ability to bond with others, to form personal relationships with others, their friends, their family members, and even us. Again, just reassuring them that we always wanted you. We always loved you. You were always welcome. When our babies are born, when my girls were born, I have 3 girls, and one of the first things I said to them, they're born and they come right to my chest and I say, thank you for coming to us. We wanted you. We love you. The babies receive those messages loud and clear. And though they may not understand the actual words, they do understand the emotions, and our emotions are going straight on through to them. I mentioned writing letters, journaling, get the other siblings involved. Let the other siblings write letters, read books, and have these daily conversations. Another suggestion would be, of course, taking photographs or taking videos. But basically, whatever it is that you do that feels good for you, what your instincts tell you to do in terms of your daily time with your baby, follow those instincts, because nothing is more wise than a mother, and her intuition and how she treats her baby from that standpoint. You can't do it wrong if you're coming from a place of love. So if it means that every day you just take a few minutes to talk and touch or sing or do a meditation, which I'll do here with you in a minute, do a little meditation with your baby every day just to let them know that they're wanted. And they'll get that message and they'll create the endorphins, and their nervous system will be at ease and their physical body will grow well. So I really hope that you've enjoyed this segment of the video today. I've certainly enjoyed spending some time with you. And now what I would like to do is invite you to get into a comfortable position, whether laying down or sitting up, that you can go ahead and do a little guided meditation, something that we do a lot of in hypnobirthing. So I'd like to guide you through a meditation called A Mother's Conversation with Her Baby. So I hope you enjoy.